The screen, Ron Zetcher and Dennis Friend. Duke against Richmond. As we began this first round here in Atlanta, Georgia in the Omni. Richmond, a red-hot ball club, winning 9 of the last 10 ball games. And with a break or so, they think they could have won 15 in a row. Duke has lost 4 of their last 6. It's been a long time since they last played one another. Dick Tarrant in 9 years at Richmond won 177 and lost 95. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke has won 226 and lost 100. He's 299 and 159 overall if you throw in his stint of an Army. For Duke, it is Leitner jumping against Wood. We're underway, and Duke opens up with attack. Defensively, what will Richmond do, Dan?
Well, I think they're going to come out strong man-to-man, try to pressure a little bit. And, of course, Duke's going to look inside. Now, that's what they need. Control the tempo of the game, some turnovers, and then execute in the half court.
Here's Atchison, a man who takes a lot of shots. He hits for an average of 19.1 a ball game. Richmond Spiders turning it over. Each team turning it over without getting a shot. And Duke gets it right back.
Of course, the one thing Dick Tarrant was concerned about, he felt they had to make very few turnovers if they're going to win this game. Duke powerful inside. They're going small, but Christian Leitner, number 32, I think should post up inside, and I'm sure they'll look to lob him the ball on occasion.
Hurley with it. Hurley, a freshman point guard. As Mike Krzyzewski says, is more than that now because of having 32 games under his belt. Leitner in the middle. It's no good. Rebound belongs to Richmond. Again, it's Atkinson.
You know, Ralph, you saw right there. If the officials do not blow the whistle a lot, I think it can really help Richmond. They need to be physical inside, try to give some pressure, bump a little bit, and hope for no call.
Atchison putting it up, no good. The rebound comes off to Duke. That's Robert Brickey, who averages 5.5 rebounds a game. Hurley up front court, he throws it away. 2 turnovers for the Dukes, and it's out of bounds to Richmond. That's Dick Tarrant.
Oh, he's done a fine job there.
He was coached in college at Fordham by Vince Lombardi as a freshman.
By Vince Lombardi? I like that.
Atchison out to Wood. Wood's been a late bloomer this year for Richmond. Under to Terry Conley out of Fredericks, Maryland. Duke coming back up for the basketball. Christian Leitner coming off with it. Front court, Duke gets it up, and it's there. That's Air Brickey. Robert Brickey gets 2, and we finally get a score in the ball game. It's 2-0 Duke. Richmond trying to counter back. Michigan out of bounds. Atkinson goes in and digs it away. Atchison.
Nice pass.
Stapleton. It's high enough. Stapleton ties the ball game at 2-all. We played him at 54.
Yeah, good play by Kenny Atkinson that time on the dish, trying to penetrate, and did a nice job. Now they need to defend.
Into Leitner. Being guarded by Conley. Richmond going man-to-man, as is Duke. Hurley with it. Hurley drops the ball. That'll be the 3rd turnover by Duke early on in the ball game. They can't afford a lot of those, and neither can Richmond. Atchison with it. Atchison just walking it up against Bobby Hurley. Atchison a senior, Hurley a freshman.
See how many passes. So this guy's going to shoot it if he's done. He needs to make some of those shots, which they have not done. They have not done the job in terms of shooting. Oh, they got people down the floor. Brickey on a breakaway.
Oh, Brickey slams it home. He has all 4 Duke points. They lead it 4-2.
Ralph, Richmond has to make the transition better, especially when their guards are shooting the ball, because no one is helping out and getting back on defense. And the 2 baskets Duke has been able to get has been on early breakaways.
Conley inside, knocked away. Duke's got to run out again, but Woods is back. 1 against 2. Kubak, and he got it. Kubak gets the first 2. He started today in place of Aldonavi, and Duke now has a 4-point lead at 6-4. Or 6-2 it should be. This is Kenny Atchison. His running mate, the right side, is Blair. This is Stapleton.
Nice pass inside.
Conley. Conley gets it in, muzzles it in against Brickey. Conley has 2. That makes it 6-4. Leitner with the ball up against Conley. Goes inside the lane. Conley fouls him. Nope, he walked. Turnover.
Well, I think Duke doing a pretty good job in their transition. They've been able to get out on the break. Here, Phil Henderson, very smart, picks up the trailer, nice behind the back to Kubek. Woods trying to draw the charge, but no call.
That'll be the 4th turnover for Duke. 16:25 to go, first half of play. 6-4 your score. Woods with it for the Spiders of Richmond. To Blair. Blair, the 5 for 2. It's tied up again. Second tie we have had. It's tied at 6-all. Henderson said yesterday that he thought that perhaps Atchison put up too many ill-advised shots.
How about that for a comment? He went to the press conference and said, well, he shoots the ball too much.
The foul down underneath is going to be on Richmond.
Look at, here's the thing right here where the officials, I think, are not blowing the whistle, which will help the Richmond Spiders. Blair, no charge call, picks up the shot. Mike Krzyzewski a little bit concerned. He knew this would be a tough game. He felt his club would have to pressure, try to cause some turnovers, and really get after him, and that's why he's gone small.
Duke had the ball out of bounds because Woods committed a foul. They get it in, and he turned it over for the 5th time. Atchison with it, and the Richmond Spiders looking for their first lead of the ball game, and it's knocked out of bounds. 15 minutes, 50 seconds to go. First half of play. There's time out of the floor, and we got a score. Duke 6, Richmond 6. We'll be right back. Each team with 3 field goals, and the game is tied up at 6-all. Abdelnaby comes into the ball game, replacing Christian Leitner of Duke. Abdelnaby did not start today. They've started Kubek in his place. There he is. 6'10", 240. A senior out of Bloomfield, New Jersey.
And Mike Krzyzewski so far has not wanted to go with the 2 big guys. Here's Atkinson. He needs to make those shots. He's off a little bit. He's missed a few.
It's knocked around, and Duke comes up with it. Henderson with it. Henderson right down the middle. Over to Bricky. Bricky goes under and gets it. Bricky has 6 of the 8 Duke points, and they go back out on top by 2.
And Ralph, had it not been for the transition of Duke, Richmond would be in great shape. They just cannot stop the open court fast break. They have to do a better job.
Stapleton out now to Blair. Now to Atkinson, the man they want to handle the basketball. The 6-foot senior out of Northport, New York.
See how much of the 45 they want to use.
They'd like to shorten the game, I think, by keeping it in the 70s. That's what they've scored in most of the year. While Duke has averaged 76.6, Richmond's averaged 68.7.
Referees are letting them play. I mean, no calls.
That's Stapleton. Ricky on the rebound. And a foul. It's going to be on Blair. That'll be his first foul.
Still a pretty good sequence for the Spiders of Richmond because the referees are letting them bang it inside. Good defense there by Bricky. He's done it at both ends. Woods recovers. Stapleton, no call there. Could have been a charge. The left-hander shoots it right-handed, doesn't get it, but the referees are letting them bang, and then finally a foul call.
That'll be 2 team fouls called on Richmond. Duke is yet to commit a foul.
We're not going to get it in the one-on-one at this one. I mean, this game may go on for a while before anybody shoots a bonus.
Springer's into the game for the Spiders. He replaces Terry Conley. Springer is number 33, 6'8", 225. A freshman out of Huron, Ohio. Atkinson on the rebound. His team trails by 2. Runs it all the way down. Blair, and here's a charging foul. That'll be his second. Bobby McGrath caught him along the baseline.
Well, Hill made a fine defensive play there. Moved his feet, got in the way. Blair charged. Need to call this one. This is just a good defensive effort. He got the upper body in front. The feet can be moving as long as the chest is solid. And in front is Mike Krzyzewski, who's done a tremendous job here at Duke, making a lot of substitution. You know, they get a lot of help from the bench. 20 or more points every ball game as Leitner back in. Now the 2 big guys look for the lob. Look for him to punch it inside now and take advantage of their size.
Hill is in. McCaffrey is in. McCaffrey with it in the corner. This is Hill, number 25, lobbing it inside, as you said. And Abdelnaby turns and lays it in.
Well, I think they're going to have that anytime they want it. That's a real problem for Richmond to defend the lob.
That equals their biggest lead of the ball game. It's on at 10-6 at 4 points. Blair for Stapleton. Wood is a big, strong individual. Right side, Blair tries to do it. It's no good. His own rebound. Again, it's Blair, and he gets it. Blair has scored the 8 points that Richmond's picked up. They trail by 2 again with 13:49 left in the first half.
And Ralph, the biggest void so far for Richmond is Atkinson. He has not scored. They cannot win the game if number 10, Kenny Atkinson, doesn't get 20 or better, in my opinion.
Abdelnaby turns and gets his second in a row. That's what we expected Duke to try to do today. It's working on the inside against the smaller Richmond ball club.
It's actually surprised me. We saw him in practice, and Abdelnaby and Leitner were in there at the same time, but Mike Krzyzewski decided to go small. Good defense by the Blue Devils on the back door and a transition. Back this one out. Back it out.
Bobby Hurley. Abdelnaby. Leitner.
Right back. Look for him inside. Wide open. That's going to be there.
He's got 6 points and he's fouled. Good pass by Leitner to put it down there. Leitner hit him right on the money.
Good team play that time by the Blue Devils. High to low. Abdelnaby doing a good job with his size at 6'10" over the top, and then finishes the play off the glass and picks up the foul. And I think Mike Krzyzewski may have found a combination he likes with the two big men in the game at the same time.
That foul is going to be on number 33, Jim Springer. That'll be his 4th foul. There's Coach K. He was concerned, as you said earlier, Dan, about this ball game today and about Richmond. But he thinks his team is playing pretty well. He said, we're playing better than a team that has lost 4 out of the last 6.
Well, they had some tough games in the ACC tournament. They lost to Georgia Tech, who I think is one of the great teams in the country and playing very well. And Abdelnaby finishes it there and gets a 3-point play. Still some more substitutions for the Blue Devils.
They bring Brian Davis out of Capitol Heights, Maryland, a sophomore at 6'6" into the game, replacing Abdelnaby.
2-2-1, three-quarter court. Duke trying to extend. You see the field goal percentage. Duke not bad, 7 out of 9. Of course, a lot of those have been inside. And Richmond, they just need to make some shots. Good penetration and a score there.
Just like that by Terry Conley. He has 4. That makes it 15-10. Duke had their biggest lead of the ball game out at 7.
Going to zone it up this time. Try something new defensively. Show a different look.
They put Leitner down low where Abdelnaby was playing. This is Duke with the ball. McCaffrey out to Hurley.
Ralph Woodson telling him, make some perimeter shots on it. We're going to go ahead and try to pack it in. Now they switched up this time, went into a matchup, a little man-to-man. Call that one.
The foul underneath will be the 5th team foul, the first half called against Richmond.
The one thing about it that Brian Davis, you see there, Dick Tarrant concerned about the inside game and trying to put as much pressure defensively on the Blue Devils as he can without giving up the inside shot, which is difficult. But see, guys like Davis at his size at 6'4", they can post up in this game because Richmond really didn't have very many big players. They've
that was Tim Withers. The foul was on. That is his first. 5-0 in team fouls. Brian Davis missing at the free throw line.
And Ralph, I really think maybe one of the key players has come in the game for Richmond, Jim Shields at about 6'10", number 40, who's come in. He needs to give them some rebounding and some strength inside. Duke man.
It's back to a 6-point ball game at 16-10. Duke is out on top. Stapleton. McCaffrey guards him. Conley down along the baseline. Now back out to Stapleton. They need to get some shots out of Stapleton, too. He's hit the only one he put up there. This is Atkinson. He has yet to hit one. Has it knocked away from him. They're really paying close attention to him, but he gets it back with some help from his friends. And we've got a walking violation along the baseline. So it'll be out of bounds to Duke after plays resume. There's timeout with 11:53 to go with a score. Duke 16, Richmond. For Richmond, it is Weathers and Atkinson out at guards. Atkinson, number 10, with it. Against Hurley. This is Weathers. Rebound. Most of them have belonged to Duke this afternoon as they pull that one in. At least 7 for them. This is McCaffrey.
Got to introduce yourself to him. That time, nobody on. McCaffrey on a transition. The defensive lapse by the Spiders, and they can't afford any of those if they're going to stay close. Really, the job so far is by Bobby Hurley. Defensively, he has taken Kenny Atkinson out of this game. I mean, he's made him a playmaker, not a scorer, and that's why Richmond's had some problems.
That's a role that he can't play very well. The Stapleton gets in, gets tied up, and he's fouled. McCaffrey is the man who fouls him. That is the first foul against Duke.
There's the freshman Bobby Hurley. And you think of him as a guy that's going to really lead the break and give it up, and you forget that he's a pretty good defensive player, and he's done a fine job on Kenny Atkinson, who's averaging about 20 points a game. Blair comes back in also for Richmond. Blair at least is someone who gave the Spiders some perimeter scoring. They're just not shooting the ball well, but credit Duke with their defense.
Conley tries 1 for 2. It's there. He was just inside the three-point line, as you saw. He has 6 points, and it's 19-12. Richmond trails it by 7 points. Richmond coming back with the zone.
They're going to lob it. No, I'd say the inside is wide open if they can go ahead and get it up. I thought that might be a pass.
Henderson trying for 3. It's knocked away out of bounds. It's out of bounds to Duke.
Well, Richmond is in Atlanta.
Club trails by 12 at 24-2, or 24-12, after a 9-2 run by Duke. Has blown them out there, Dan.
Well, they just dominated the game, Ralph, inside with their high lobs and their ability not to turn the ball over. Their guard play has been exceptional so far.
Henderson getting in trouble, dropping it away out of bounds. Duke open up very shakily. They turned the ball over 5 times the first 4 minutes of the ball game, but they've certainly settled down now. That's the first turnover in a long time for the Blue Devils.
Well, we felt Richmond could not win this game if Atkinson and Blair didn't come out and get 40 between them. And defensively, Mike Krzyzewski knows that, and their guards have done the job defensively against the Richmond Spiders, and that's really been the game so far.
Conley with it to Blair. Wood on the rebound, tied up. Abdelnaby tied him up. It'll be out of bounds. Richmond will get it back, and perhaps a little frustration already starting to set in for the Richmond ball club. 7 players have scored in the first 11 minutes for Duke. There have been 3 players score for Richmond, with 6 of those coming to Terry Conley. Blair with it. And a foul from over the back is going to be on Duke. It'll be on Greg Kubek, the junior out of Clifton Park, New York.
Kenny Wood that time with position. Kubek went over the back to pick up the foul. Out of bounds underneath. It will go to Richmond. They better start shooting the ball pretty soon, because this one's going to get out of hand in a hurry if they don't.
That is only the second team foul against Duke. On the steal, Henderson comes up with it. Here they go again. Blocked from behind by Conley. Atkinson with it. Atkinson off and running. Stapleton to Atkinson. He just hasn't been able to put up a shot. This one's up there, no good. On the rebound, Abdelnaby. That's 9 rebounds. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Richmond.
No, Duke had a 3-on-1 going to the basket that time. The transition in the open court and their fast break opportunities have resulted in a lot of points for the Blue Devils.
McCaffrey goes out of the ball game. Hill comes in for Duke. Bricky goes out of the ball game also, as they get Abdelnaby back in. Field goal situation looks like this: 30% for Richmond, 63 for Duke. A lot of Dukes have been real close and inside. Henderson pumps it up. Duke again on the board. Back up and in. That's Tom Hill. Thomas Hill gets his first 2. That's 26-12. Duke by 14.
Yeah, what happens is you try to screen out Abdelnaby and you're looking for other people in there. Hill nobody screened him out. He went right to the glass and picked it up and in. Another foul on the Blue Devils.
Bobby Hurley, number 11, with it.
Yeah, here Henderson, pretty good shot under pressure, but look, no screen out. Thomas Hill just taps it to himself. And then, of course, with his good leaping ability, the left-hander able to get it up and in.
The 3rd team foul of the afternoon, the first half against Duke. It's out of bounds, Richmond again. They had trouble. Atkinson chases it down. Good defense by Duke on the inbounds play. They come out man-to-man. Conley against Abdelnaby. Inside, Stapleton stripped to the ball one more time. And now Atkinson knocks it away from him, and it'll be out of bounds. Richmond will get it back after they took it away from the freshman Bobby Hurley.
One of the few mistakes really Duke has made that time. They're trying to get the ball out in the transition. Hurley lost the handle. Atkinson, who has not yet scored, able to deflect and get that one off of Hurley. Out of bounds will go to Richmond. See if Atkinson, Ralph, can get back in this game. He needs to assume some leadership and try to score. Hasn't been able to do it.
That 3-point try was no good. Touched last foul. Will not be out of bounds. There's Atkinson. He has not scored today. He leads them in scoring at 19.1. And he hadn't been able to get many shots. He's 0 for 4. 0 for 5 now, maybe, as Duke pulls down the rebound. The Blue Devils off and running again. Henderson cut off by Stapleton. Richmond has not scored the last 3.5 minutes as Duke taps it in. Abdul Nabi has 11 points. Duke is now hitting on 12 out of 20 from the outside. Stapleton underneath. It's good. Stapleton finally gets his 4th point and breaks a long scoring drought for the Spiders.
Nice play by Stapleton. A little hesitation that time. Throws the defense. Oh, wide open is Kubek.
Kubek getting loose underneath, and he gets his 4th. Takes it back to a 30-14 ball game, and Duke out by 16 in the first half with 6.5 remaining.
With Duke taking control in Atlanta, we'll drop in on a from Richmond.
5 minutes to go, first half of play, and it's been all Duke at 30-16. Hill with the ball. From the free throw line, rebound belongs to Richmond. That'll be the 12th rebound. It evens up the rebounds for the afternoon. It's just been the inability of Richmond to get a shot for the big man, Atkinson, this afternoon that's kept them out. Blair for 3 as Blair gets it. He has 7 points. It's 30-16. We talk about Atkinson. He is averaging 19.1 a ball game. He only has 1 point today. That's 1 out of 6 from the outside. And he's on the bench right now for Richmond.
Yeah, that shows you how frustrated that Atkinson is. Dick Tarrant takes him out of the game. Good defense by the Blue Devils. Oh, there's a strip. Could be a score. Stapleton, left-handed dunk. Don't go.
3 tries, and he finally gets it to fall in. That has been 4 blocks today by Duke. Stapleton getting his 6th point, 30-21, and now the Richmond fans trying to out-cheer the Dukies here in this ball game.
Mini run by the Spiders.
A foul will be on Richmond. It's going to be on number 50, Joe John Bryant.
On a breakaway, on a transition, Stapleton looking for the dunk, gathered himself. It took a little time. Bricky comes from behind, and then Stapleton shows good effort just to stay with it, and on the 3rd effort, able to get it up and in.
Richmond is 10 out of 30 on the day. Joe John Bryant, the man who just committed the foul. At the free throw line is Davis. Brian Davis, 54 of 84 on the year, coming into the game.
Sure, Dick Tarrant would be thrilled if he could go in at halftime 6-7 down, because his team really has not played very well from the perimeter at all in the first half. He feels that they can do a little bit better than they have.
There's time out of the floor. 3:56 to go in the first half. With your score, Duke 30, Richmond. It is 21 for Richmond, 31 for Duke. This telecast is presented by authority of the NCAA. Any use of this program without written consent is prohibited. The announcers for this program have been approved and contracted by NCAA Productions. Louis Carter second. His ball club plays here in this first round later on today.
Yeah, they've got tempo. Should be a good ball game.
Louis said he would never buy one of those sweaters if people send him to it. Said, I don't buy sweaters anymore. 3:43 to go. Stapleton with the ball. Duke's bench has outscored Richmond 17-0 here in this game, and there's another block shot and a foul.
Now, how many block shots has Bricky had so far in the first half? Of course, a tremendous leaper. That time, a foul called.
He gets 3 block shots by Bricky, but that will not be a block shot, of course. It's just a foul on it.
Terry Conley, is he surrounded? They've got 3 Duke players in there. Conley may look to pitch that one out instead of trying to force it up. But he's been effective. One of the few players, really, for Richmond that has been able to score and give them some offense in the first half.
Neither team hitting well from the free throw line. That's the first shot forced by Richmond from the free throw line, and we played almost 17 minutes of the first half. Duke's 4 out of 7 from the charity stripe. That's good. Conley has 7 points for the day. The biggest lead by Duke has been out at 16. 31-22 just now. 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Robert Bricky looking to Leitner. Bobby Hurley. And Hurley says thumbs down as he goes to Henderson. Uncle Nobby down low, swinging and wanting the ball. Lobbing it to him. It's getting for pushing off. No, the other way around. It's going to be on Terry Conley, his second.
Yeah, Abdul Nabi just camping in the lane that time. I mean, he just set himself in the paint, and they're looking definitely to lob. And that time, Conley on the push. Abdul Nabi will go to the free throw line.
That'll be 2 fouls on Conley, and Abdul Nabi stepping back to the line where he is 1 out of 1 today from the charity stripe. He has 11 points already. That's 12 for him. He leads everybody in the game.
He did not start.
Did not indeed. He's averaging 14.3 on the year and hitting 61% from the field. From the field today, he's 5 out of 6. That's 13 for Ama Abdelnabi. Wood coming into the game for Richmond. He was a starter.
Of course, Wood, a prolific high school scorer at about 31 a game when he was in high school. And really, since he's come into the starting lineup, has given Richmond some scoring. But he has not been able to score either.
Stapleton against Hurley. Wood. Richmond just hasn't had very many good shots today because of a tenacious Duke defense. This is Wood. Turnaround jumper. Abdelnabi off for the rebound. Out to Hurley. Numbers aren't there, so he just holds up and waits for Henderson. Henderson getting his 5th point. Had a 3-pointer earlier. That makes it 35-22. Back to a 13-point lead for Duke.
And they're winning the game, really, Ralph, at this end of the floor. Their defense has been really superb, and they just have not given Richmond any easy shots. Everything has been on the perimeter. Richmond can't win the game from the perimeter. They just can't make enough jumpers.
That'll be the second foul on number 44, Kenny Wood, and we're in a shooting situation at 1 and a bonus. Wood, a 6'5" freshman from East Hampton, as you pointed out a moment ago.
Of course, Duke in an ideal position from a team foul standpoint. They can go ahead and pressure because Richmond's still not in a 1-and-1. So Mike Krzyzewski, he knows that he's in a commanding position right now, and they just need to take care of the ball and not turn it over.
He lost his number 1 assistant last year, Bob Bender, who went down to Southern Illinois, and he took with him one of the former great players of Duke, and Billy King. They're in the NCAA this year themselves out in Long Beach. Atkinson is back into the ball game for Richmond. He's been out for about 5 minutes of playing time. He went out right after he had scored his only bucket. Leitner 84% from the free throw line on 183 of 217. That'll be his 2nd point of the day. 36-22. Remember that Duke is led by as many as 16.
Why do you think Leitner has opened the game up for Abdelnabi? Because when Leitner's in there, you do concentrate on him. You may put 1 or 2 players on him, but Richmond just can't guard the entire front line of Duke, and Abdelnabi's been free, and he's benefited from the double team on Leitner.
Duke now 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Knocked down, and a foul is going to be on Leitner. He was reaching over Kenny Wood. Leitner draws his first foul. That is only the 5th team foul called against Duke in this half of play. It'll be out of bounds now, as Mike Krzyzewski says, why? Richmond to get it in.
Well, he knows they have another foul to take. Just go on, pressure him. Doesn't bring a 5-second count. Oh, timeout. Good timeout. They were going to get a 5.
And good defense by Duke that did not allow them to come in, as Dick Tarrant's ball club having trouble getting it in before the 5-second count was up here against Duke. That's the kind of defense Duke has played the entire first half. 2:21 to go. It is Duke 37, Richmond 22. What has been the big surprise to you here in the first half as far as this ball game is concerned with Richmond and Duke, Dan?
Well, to be honest with you, it has not been a real big surprise, as we said at the open round, because I thought Duke would win this game because their dominance inside. The only surprise is I thought Richmond could score a little bit better on the perimeter. I thought Atkinson, with his shooting ability and his ball handling, would be able to get open for jumpers, but the defense of Bobby Hurley has been a surprise. He's normally a guy you think is going to control the offensive end. He's really shut down Atkinson, and that's really been the story of the first half. No backcourt scoring from Kenny Atkinson, and Richmond can't win the game if he doesn't get his 20 or better.
Well, we had thought coming into this that the big thing that Duke would try to do offensively is just lob it over the shorter Richmond ball club and go for the gimmies on the inside, and indeed that is what they have done. Abdelnabi at the moment is 5 out of 6 from the outside. All of his shots have come within 2 or 3 feet. He's just turned and laid them in. He's shooting 61.2 on the year, and he has 13 points already. Christian Leitner only has 3 points. They have come from the free throw line. Bricky has 6 points, but what a job he has done, as he's blocked 3 shots already. And the bench has done a marvelous job today for Duke, because you have to figure that Abdelnabi is coming off the bench picking up 13. It's 19-0 in that department. And for the second time, Richmond will try to put the ball in bounds. Scott Stapleton will be the man who puts it in play for them. 2:21 to go. Duke getting 58%.
Well, as you said, most of their shots are inside, and Richmond has not been able to hit the perimeter jumper. See if Atkinson now responds coming out of the timeout. Hurley's right on him. I mean, Hurley just not allowing Kenny Atkinson any room, and of course matches up with him well size-wise. Atkinson not a player that's tall that can shoot over people. Now the zone. We're going to switch the defense. Atkinson's eyes are lighting up. Maybe he can get open.
Say, wait a minute. Let me see if I can fire that ball up there. A tap out. Leitner comes up with a rebound for Duke. They tried one from long range, and we're inside the 2-minute mark now for the first half. Henderson, that'll be for 2. Henderson gets his 7th point of the ball game. He averages nearly 18 a game. He makes no bones about it. He's the designated shooter for the Blue Devils. Knocked away, but Conley has it for Richmond. Stapleton back to a man-to-man. Duke has come out of the zone after just one inbound play. Conley with it, and Aldanabi with him.
Now Mike Krzyzewski put a premium on defense. Again, the turnover.
Henderson with it. And he outraced Wood. He got it, and he's fouled. Wood commits his 3rd foul. Henderson comes up with his 9th point. So he'll go to the free throw line.
Pretty shot by Henderson that time. With the steal, typifies the entire first half. The defense of Duke, the transition, the open court, over the head on the glass. Wood with the foul. Henderson with the finish. Duke with a big lead. And Richmond in big trouble.
Indeed they are. A lot of folks said this would either be a very close ball game or it would be a blowout. It is there by Henderson, as Henderson comes up with his 10th point of the game, and it's a 20-point Duke lead with only 1:15 left in the first half of play. Blair to Atkinson against Hurley. He finally gets a jumper in. Atkinson has 4 points. A lot of people were looking forward to seeing this young man gun up and downtown.
And that was a difficult shot. I mean, that defense was very good by Hurley. Just credit Atkinson with a good jumper. Here, Hurley finally going to take a shot.
And he missed it on a 3-point try. Blair with it. It's 3-on-1. Atkinson inside against Hurley, and he falls. Atkinson comes up with 6. So it's 42-26 now. We're inside 40 seconds for the first half.
In fact, Ralph, that was one of the probably the only transition I can remember Richmond having in the first half where they were able to go down 3-on-1. Of course, Duke now, as you see the shot clock, will play for 1. Look to shoot it with about 5 or 6 seconds remaining. In case they miss, it'll give them a chance to tap it in. Now they're ready.
Hurley. Into Abdelnabi. Over Conley. Back up by Henderson. Tapped up. And that finally brings to an end the first half. After Duke had 4 tries at it, Dick Tarrant knows that he has to give the halftime talk of his career if he is able to bring Richmond back against Duke. That's the end of the first half with the score Duke 42, Richmond 26. Ricky with the rebound. Abdelnabi goes back up. He gets it and he's fouled. The foul will be on number 40, Jim Shields, his first.
Of course, Shields inserted in the starting lineup for the second half, hopefully for Dick Tarrant to give him some rebounding. Did not work in the first sequence because too many second and third efforts. Bricky misses one there that I'm sure he was disappointed. Abdelnabi, though, picks it off the glass and brings it right back in. He's had a big game. Of course, every one of his shots have been inside, but that's what he's supposed to do.
Abdelnabi misses it. They do get the rebound there. Along with Shields, it is Atkinson, Blair, Conley, and Stapleton, meaning Kenny Wood, who has 3 fouls, did not start the second half for Richmond. Blair with it. 44-26. This is Blair. Rebound comes down to Bobby Hurley, the freshman from Jersey City. Hurley, outstanding defensive job here this afternoon against Atkinson.
Ooh, Abdelnabi that time looks like he held on to Blair, who was going for the loose ball.
Jump ball that goes out of bounds to Richmond on the exchange of possession arrows.
Now, Abdelnabi that time saw the loose ball, and Blair for Richmond was going after. He just grabbed him. I think the officials missed that. That could have been an intentional foul.
Abdelnabi has not committed a personal foul yet today. Richmond is only 4-7 when they trailed at half. Duke is 16-2 when they go into the halftime meeting. They come out winning. This is Atkinson. He gets a two-pointer. He has hit his last 4 shots. We've got a technical foul called against Abdul Nabi. Abdul Nabi committed a technical foul.
Oh, he must have said something to the official. I thought Abdul Nabi was fortunate not to pick up an intentional foul in the midcourt area on the last sequence, and there Atkinson, who makes the jumper. This could be a big turn here, something that Richmond may need to give them a spark. Atkinson will go to the free throw line.
Abdul Nabi had called his teammates around and explained to them what had happened. Here's a man who very seldom misses a free throw. He's only missed 20 all year, missing that one. He just had that kind of a day.
Well, the one thing that Duke does not want to do, Ralph, is get Richmond thinking that they've got a chance to win this game. And Mike Krzyzewski knows this. I mean, we've got this club down and out. Let's not do anything to get him back in the game, because Atkinson is good enough where if he catches fire, he can bring this club back, but they have to close the gap before they do that. Ooh, 5 count here. Might get a 5 count. Pick it up.
Atkinson, he's set in there, and he was blocked. The foul will be on Duke. The foul is going to be on Bricky.
Of course, Duke does such a terrific job here. Anticipation by Bricky to get in front, to jump switch it. Bricky almost picked up the charge. That was very close. Could have gone either way. Out of bounds, it will go to Richmond. It looked like Atkinson may have hurt himself charging into Bricky that time.
Could have been. The team fouls are even up now at 1 apiece after Robert Bricky has just picked up his 3rd. Atkinson against Hurley. When they write about this game, Hurley's name will be in headlines. The way that he has played defensively against Atkinson.
Great.
We go to Atlanta, where Missouri has, coming back against Northern Iowa, a 7-0 run has gotten the Tigers back into things. Let's check in with Mike.
It is 51-31. Duke leads it by 20 as Leitner puts up a shot, no good. Atkinson on the rebound, a long kickoff. Richmond still trying to get something going after they trail by 16 at the half. Atkinson missing. Abdul Nabi on the rebound. Out to Phil Henderson. A lot of run-outs today for Duke. And Henderson comes up with his 14th point of the game. 21 of 40 shooting now for the Dukies.
No transition that time when Atkinson looks to shoot the ball and he penetrates. Richmond not able to get anybody back on defense. Duke's had 3 or 4 of those in the game.
Wood, who did not start the second half after starting the ball game, back in there. This is Blair for 3. Rebound to Abdul Nabi. He has wiped everything off today. That'll be 9 rebounds for him and a foul at midcourt on Atkinson.
Actually, a good foul by Atkinson to stop the fast break. Duke was coming down again. Here, Abdul Nabi. We've said his name a lot this afternoon. He's been able to score and rebound, and there's the breakaway. Look, no one back on defense for the Spiders because Atkinson, the guard, the little guard, shot the ball. Blair was not able to get back. Abdul Nabi's done a tremendous job.
He said he had found his identity after Danny Ferry left to go across the waters and play basketball.
Whatever he's found, it's going in the right direction for Duke.
Hill underneath, and Hill gets it. That'll be his 4th. 53-31, make it 55-31 now. A 24-point lead, biggest of the ball game for Duke. Richmond Spiders not hitting well from any position today. This is Atkinson, their big guy, trying to get it inside, and a foul on Kubak over guarding. That'll be his 2nd foul.
Duke playing such good defense, and still they're not getting in any foul problems. They've been able to play strong man-to-man and shut down the backcourt of the Spiders. And we thought the backcourt would need 40 or more points, and they have not been close to that. And they've dominated on the offensive rebounds and been able to get full court passes for easy baskets. But the defense has keyed the offense, and that's why the Blue Devils are where they are in this ballgame.
Wood for 2, and he got it. Kenny Wood finally breaks his maiden scoring today as he gets his first field goal. He only averages 5.2 a ball game, and he makes it 55-33. Duke has already scored in the hundreds and over 9 times this year. Leitner underneath. Leitner comes up with his first field goal at his 5th point, making it 57-33. They also beat Harvard in their first ball game this year by 76 points. Atkinson hit 1 for 3. That is 12 for him. So he's starting to catch fire as of late. He's at 6 points in each half now. Still 13:30 to go.
Still man-to-man by Richmond, and they've been able to penetrate and get the ball inside.
Leitner. Hurley. Leitner. And he's fouled. The foul's going to be on Terry Conley. That is his third foul. And Leighton will go to the line. He has been up to the line 4 times today, and he's hit on 3 of them.
Bobby Hurley's got a real concept of the game, and Dick Tarrant has to be very disappointed in the way his club has come out and shot the ball. But Bobby Hurley, with his penetration, was looking past all the way and able to give it up inside to Leitner. He's got to be a fun guy to play with, especially if you're a big guy, because you know you will get the ball if you move and you're active and you post up and you make yourself a good target.
Leitner hitting it. Leitner now has 6 points of the day. There was the 5th team foul on Richmond. There have been 3 team fouls called against Duke in the second half. It's there. Leitner has 7. And Abdelnabi comes back into the game for Coach Mike Krzyzewski. He comes in replacing Christian Leitner.
They just rotate a lot of big guys.
Duke headed for the second round, but Missouri and Northern Iowa are still battling in the Southeast region in Richmond. Tigers have it close, though.
Hurley will go up to the free throw line with Duke leading at 63-38. Ala Abdelnabi came off the bench to score 22 points today when Kubek started in his place. Add to that the fact that he has 12 rebounds. It's 33-22 in rebounding. You like that kind of stat? If Hurley misses it, it's tapped. It'll be offensive goaltending. He touched it while it was on top of the cylinder, so it'll go out of bounds now to Richmond. Well, at least Thomas showed that he was all fired up.
Doesn't that play right there just typify the whole game for the Blue Devils, though? They've just been able to get anything they want inside, second and third shots. Richmond just cannot do much about it.
Stapleton against Hill. Duke comes back now man-to-man. They've alternated between the man-to-man and the 2-3 zone this afternoon. Atkinson back into the ballgame, number 10 for Richmond. Springer knocked away. Springer gets it back. This is Stapleton against Hill. Withers, the left-hander's end, has already hit 1 shot of his half a play. Stapleton underneath. He got it, and he's fouled by Hill. Stapleton has his 10th point, and he becomes only the 2nd player in the Richmond lineup to get double figures.
Nice play by Stapleton there. Well executed in the half court. Look at the pump to freeze the defense. Of course, Bricky should stay down, not go off his feet, but Stapleton able to bring it back and get the score.
Into the ball game is Brian Davis. That foul on Thomas Hill was the 2nd of the ball game, and this is the first time all day long that Richmond has had a chance to convert a 3-point trip.
Well, they haven't got the ball inside, and when they do, of course, they haven't been able to score because Duke's been able to block shots or alter the shot, and they've just owned the glass at both ends of the floor.
That was the 5th rebound by Bricky. Bricky now trying to get 2, knocked away, and Richmond comes up with it. This is Stapleton outrunning Henderson. Good move and blows the grip. Hurley on the rebound. Duke the other way. It is 3-on-2. Blocked out of bounds off the knee of Wood. It'll come back into Duke.
Good effort, though, by Stapleton, who missed a shot at one end, but hustled back on defense. Bobby Hurley with a nice bounce off the dribble. But look at Stapleton come all the way back for his defense to knock the ball out of bounds.
On the inbound play, Wood trying to knock it around. Hurley comes up with it. It's a touch Bricky, so that makes it legal. Henderson looking for the 3. The designated shooter, as he calls himself, for Duke. Bricky, Henderson, and a foul. The foul will be on Richmond. It'll be a 2-shot violation. Springer is the guy who committed it. That for Springer is his 2nd foul, first of this half.
Well, Duke just dictating the tempo now and selecting which shot they want. Good movement without the ball by Henderson. You see there the slam dunk by Leitner, which of course did not count. But good ball movement and good team play by the Blue Devils. This is a tournament tough team that was able to get to the Final Four 3 times in the last 4 years, and I'm telling you, they look pretty good.
Henderson is now 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He has 14 points. He's 6 out of 13 from the field. The Duke team, Abdelnabi leading him in smiles on the other side.
Well, I think their attitude is excellent, and they know that they've got to get out of Atlanta. And they got a shot again to get to that Final Four. I mean, this is a pretty good team.
Mike says they started out 0-0 here this afternoon. He says, forget the fact that we played 32 games and we're 24-8. For the fact that we're 9-5 in the ACC. All new season now. Atkinson. The ball club finished first in the Colonial Athletic Conference. Then they were upset by James Madison in the tournament.
Well, I got to check that. I'm not sure if they just didn't win the. I thought they did win the tournament. I thought they won 5 in a row, and they won the tournament to beat James Madison in the final, I think.
It's up and knocked away out of bounds. It's going to come back in to Richmond. Atkinson with it. They were surprised to be here. 63-40. Atkinson with it. Richmond beat James Madison.
Right.
That's what I meant to say.
Right,
anyway.
I know that. Yeah. They won 5 in a row. They played very well. I knew what you meant to say. I had it all the way.
Down in Davis laying it up to them. That'd be 4 for him. It'll be out of bounds as Leitner came up to hit it. Well, this ball game has certainly been all Duke right from the outset. They jumped out. They've led by as many as 27. The lead now by 25. Richmond unable to get any offense going whatsoever.
And you know what I like about it? That Duke comes out and they start with a small lineup. I think everybody was looking like, what are you doing? Abdullahi's not starting. But Mike felt that it was better to go small, better to pressure, and better to win the game from the defensive end. That's exactly what they've done.
Stapleton playing a little out of control, regains it and throws it away. Touched last by Ricky. It'll come back in to Richmond.
Dick Tarrant's club really never felt, I don't think, that they had a shot to win this game. Their confidence level never got to the point where the players were saying, hey, if we start making our shots or make a few, we've got a chance. Duke just took them mentally right out.
Well, he told us yesterday that if we beat them, it means we got to cut down the transition. We got to shut down their inside game. That certainly has not happened. They had intended to put a lot of pressure on Hurley. That hasn't happened either.
No, the pressure has come from the Blue Devils. Everything's tough. I mean, they don't get very many easy shots because Duke is playing such outstanding defense.
7:58 to go. There's a timeout on the court with a score: Duke 65, Richmond 40. In this ball game, along with Dan Belwani, this is Ralph Hacker from the Omni in Atlanta. Look at that bench scoring. It's not even close. 30 points difference.
Yeah, we said at the top of the show, we thought Richmond was the one that had good bench scoring and production, but Duke, I mean, that's unbelievable.
In the second half for Richmond, Blair's 0 for 4, Conley 0 for 2, Springer 0 for 3, Atkinson 2 of 5, and Stapleton 2 out of 4. Here's a ball club that normally hits 47.5%, hitting on 32% today against Duke. Duke's hitting 53%. They normally shoot right at 50% for the game.
Right now, Ralph, they're just in their shot clock mode. Let's just run the clock down to about maybe 15 or 18 before we start.
We're going back to Richmond.
The biggest lead of the ball game is up there right now for Duke as Richmond has the basketball being batted around. It'll be out of bounds and Duke gets it back. It's a 32-point ball game, 74-42. Duke making another change. Clay Buckley comes into the ball game, replacing Hurley, and what an ovation he'll get. Abdelnaby goes out of the ball game also. Cook is into the game. Buckley broke his nose about 10 days ago, but they say he's okay. Where's that mask on it just for protection? McCaffrey got it. They're pouring it on here in Atlanta today as Bill McCaffrey gets it.
Yeah, Ralph, Bobby Hurley got a good ovation coming out of the game. A lot of people, young people watching it. You don't need to score a lot of points to be effective, and he demonstrated that this afternoon with his defense, his ball handling, and he shut down Atkinson, and that's the story of this basketball game because Kenny Atkinson just could not get off and give Richmond some early scoring that they needed.
He would be my player of the ball game, the way that he shut down Ken Atkinson today. Atkinson, number 10, with the ball. And the foul's going to be on Hill, overguarding him just a little bit as Hill gets number 3. Look at this one going on. Northern Iowa leading Missouri 67-59. After yesterday was about 40% upsets across the country. Georgetown still winning that ball game over Texas Southern.
Well, the Northern Iowa score, that's a major surprise and a major upset if they can go ahead and complete that with a win. But then Missouri has not been playing very well, have they, of late?
They've not. Steve Newton's ball club doggone here did it yesterday when Murray played against Michigan State.
Whoops.
A steal by Cook.
Ooh, look at that pass.
Weathers on the rebound. They've let them play here this afternoon, and I like it. 76-42 with 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go. Conley coming out the pivot to get it. There's Withers working down there against Butler. Can't get him the ball. Now here's Conley. He's at a wing, and he got it. Conley comes up with his 9th point. First time he has scored in this half of play. At half, the score was 42-26, so there hasn't been a lot of scoring by Richmond in the second half. Cook with it. Mike Krzyzewski has averaged 26.7 wins a ball game over the last 7 years. This will mark win number 25 for him in the season.
And it's 300. I believe you said that at the top. I think it's 299 total. So, Mike, congratulations to him. He's done a tremendous job, as everyone knows it. Win number 300 this afternoon.
Against only 159 defeats. It'll also mark his 227th win over at Duke against only 100 defeats. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the NCAA basketball committee representative Ken Free, tournament manager Jim Murphy, and tournament media coordinator Mike Flynn of Georgia Tech. From Richmond, athletics director Chuck Boone, head basketball coach Dick Tarrant and his staff, and sports information director Chris Moore. And from Duke, athletics director Tom Butters, head basketball coach Mike Krzyzewski, and his staff, and sports information director John Roth. On the rebound is Richmond. Richmond really clearing the bench now. They've got Brian McDowell in the ball game. Muldowney has to be happy tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day. Maybe things will brighten up for him then. It's possible. 2 minutes and 3 seconds to go. They also have another Irishman, Juddy McDonald, out of Falls River, Massachusetts, into the game. A couple of Irishmen out at guards now for Richmond. 1 minute 50 seconds to go. This is McDonald. Also to the ball game is Eric Johnson, number 25. Back to McDonald against Cook. Puts his shot up. It's good.
Good. Glad to see that.
We'll see his name in the box score tomorrow as he makes it with 1 minute 34 seconds to go. 76-46 Duke.
That's a shot McDonald will remember a long time. Comes in late in the game. I'm sure does not get a lot of playing time. Able to score in the NCAA tournament.
He's a freshman, as is Muldowney. Knocked away out of bounds. Richmond will get it back. Johnson is a freshman. McDonald is a freshman. Muldowney is a freshman. For the ball game now. Springer is a freshman in there for Richmond.
McDonald's hot now. Watch out. I mean, he's going to be looking for the ball.
Matter of fact, with Withers in there, they have all 5 freshmen in the ball game. And up with the ball is junior Clay Buckley out of Wayne, PA for Duke. 1 minute to go in the ball game. It's no good. Palmer with it. Palmer back up, no good, and he's fouled. The foul is going to be on number 25, Eric Johnson, out of Landover, Maryland. That's 6'9", 220. Averages 7/10 of a point.
Pardon me?
7/10 of a point.
Okay. Well, there'll be another day for Dick Tarrant. Very happy to be in the tournament. They had won 5 consecutive games. That's interesting.
He was quoting Lombardi yesterday. But he said that amateur sports is just a group of people to get together and make mistakes when they play. To paraphrase it, this is Palmer at the line.
Missouri is coming back. They're on an 11-2 run.
Lost to Syracuse by 2. They came back to score 108, but lost in overtime to Michigan, 113 to 108.
Well, I really thought their game against Arizona late in the year, of course, the game was at Duke, was one of the better games I had seen the whole year. I thought it was a terrific matchup. And both those teams, Duke and Arizona, I think will move a long way in the NCAA tournament.
McDonald. Weathers. A steal by Duke. This is Thomas. All the way. Thomas Hill comes up with his 6th. This game is now history as he let it fly from midcourt and narrowly missed by Brian McDowell. The final score in round 1 here in the Omni in Atlanta was Duke 81, Richmond 46.
So Missouri, a 3 seed going down, but in the